Big news for the Gators today as they add a key piece to the offensive line through the transfer portal. Jason Zandamela committed to the Florida Gators over UCF. We love it when the good guys get a win. So Jason is a really good player that's going to come in with 4 years of eligibility. So he originally signed with Southern Cal. He entered the portal during the spring window and then visited both UCF and Florida. UCF made a huge push for him. Jason really wanted to be a Gator. He made that clear from the beginning. UF had to see if they had the room, if they had the NIL space. They were able to work it out. He is originally from Clearwater, so coming home from California was a huge motivation here. He is 6'2.5", 285 pounds. He's an interior offensive lineman. He can also snap, so he could either be a guard or even a center in the future. He was the 118th placed player in the country in 2024 in that signing class. So really highly ranked, big piece of the puzzle. This is a huge pickup for UF. Listen, our offensive line room has needed some help the last few years. This spans back even before Coach Napier. So stockpiling talent there is huge. Now, I do not think Jason's signing impacts this year in any significant way, barring some major injuries on the offensive line. I think this is a piece of the puzzle that you really are going to have to take your time and develop. It is a huge pickup for the future. And, our offensive line staff has gotten some grief for not being able to land guys. Some of that from me. But this is another very good pickup for the Gators. So hats off to this offensive line coaching staff there. I think you always should give credit where credit's due, and this is a really good pickup. FSU was really close on Zandamela before he committed to USC last year. They didn't seem very active with him here in the process during this transfer portal time period, but he was certainly incredibly sought after during his original recruiting process. This is a guy that everybody wanted. So, nice to pick up a piece of the puzzle that your rivals wanted as well. Now, I do want to address this. A lot of people will complain and say that this doesn't help UF this year, so it doesn't matter, right? And I touched on that a minute ago. I want to talk about it a little bit more. This staff understands how important winning is this year. And I understand that lots of you out there don't think that we're going to be very good. And that's fine. But that's not the way that they are looking at this. They are preparing and building the program not only for now, but also for the future. They fully understand that it is the expectation that they win now. They know that they have to put on a better season this upcoming year than the past couple to be able to see that 2025, 2026. But they're confident in what they're doing. And they believe that they've got to plan for both phases, the now and the future. Ultimately, this is good work by Billy Napier. He went out, he continued to stack depth on this roster. This is a roster with not a ton of wiggle room. Florida was sitting just a couple of days ago at 86 scholarship players, right? They had to be incredibly selective with who they've decided to sign in this spring transfer portal. I don't think that Florida is done. I think they will pick up another piece or two, and we'll see that in the coming days and weeks. But this was never going to be a free-for-all. There was so little wiggle room on this roster. And I think this was a great decision by Coach Napier when you only have a couple spots to give and you've got to be selective. An offensive lineman with 4 years of eligibility who is going to be a stud for somebody is a really good pickup. They've got to continue to stack the depth on this roster. That is going to make Florida successful long-term. That's ultimately what's going to help Billy Napier get over this hump, is stacking that roster. All right, guys, I would be happy to chat about this down in the comments with you guys, but give me a big go Gators down there and let me know how happy and excited you are about this pickup. I'll talk to you soon.